All right, CNT140 horizontal cabling lab. We did all of the horizontal cabling in Packet Tracer, verified, put the patch cables in, verified connectivity, all that. We saved the Packet Tracer file. We're going to submit that when we're done. But we have one last piece of this lab, and there's a series of questions I want you to look up about horizontal cabling from a couple documents. So I'm going to point out where those are in just a second. And that's what you're going to answer here. I have a couple questions you're going to answer about certain things on cabling, and you're going to submit those answers to me. All right. So to do this, just do some sort of notepad or text file, okay? If you want to do Microsoft Word, that's fine. And create that and give it a name like the Horizontal Cabling Lab Questions or something like that. And you're going to put these answers in. If you wanted to, you could copy paste these over and fill them in, or you could just put down, question 1, here's my answer, question 2, here's my answer, question 3, here's my answer, and so forth. You can keep it simple. All right. To do this, you're going to need to look up some things. So before you even start the questions, I say, okay, you need to open the cabling standards that I have located for you, and you're going to look up certain things from the standard. Now, let me show you where those are. I'm going to go back to D2L. I'm actually just going to go back to the content page. I have a copy in here of a cabling standard summary document, and I actually have it here under cabling standards. It's this right here. This is a link to a PDF that I have on my Google Drive. So it's right here. If you wanted to download this, you can. I think there's an option here to... Yeah, you can pop this out into a new tab, and you can download this if you want to keep it for easy reference. That is up to you. But I just made it available on my Google Drive so you didn't have to download it all the time. But what this is Anixter is a group that keeps that does all kinds of stuff with cabling, and they keep standards available for you. This is, if you were to get this from that, it's actually like a little mini spiral bound notebook that has these standards in summary form, a whole bunch of them in summary form for easy reference. So it's not like the full authoritative standard, but it's the authoritative summary at your fingertips. And I like when it's a PDF like this because I can scroll through and I can even search for it very easily. So I'm going to open this, and you'll notice I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit. The table of contents here tells you, here's the different standards in here. Well, these first couple, the 568 0D, 1D, 2D, 3D, and the 569, we are going to reference a lot. There's a lot of things in here we're going to look up. When it comes to cabling, there's a lot of things done a certain way because some of these things are not law, but a lot of these are good practices that if you do it this way, it's going to work. And if you do it this way, it's going to meet building code. Now, some things building code are law that you have to adhere to. A lot of these are best practices that if you do them this way, things should work and they meet local building and fire code kind of thing. So, when we're not sure about how to do something, you'll look them up in a document like this, because this is why they're out here. All right, we're going to look up a lot of these. So, let me pop back over to my lab here. The lab says, okay, for the first question, we have the standard handy. We need to, the first 6 questions are located in the 568-1D horizontal cabling standard, the 1-D horizontal cabling standard. Excuse me, horizontal cabling section. So, I'm going to find the 1D. There it is. There's 1-D on page 19. So I'm going to scroll down. There's the 0D. I'm going to keep going. The next blue page is the 1D. There you go. There's 1D. And then I tell you in there that it's located in the horizontal cabling section. So horizontal cabling section right there. There it is, about page 24. So we'll scroll down to 24. It's going to make my life so much easier. There you go, there's horizontal cabling section. So the first question I have for you is, horizontal cabling systems include the following components. Well, what components are those? This right here, horizontal cabling includes horizontal cabling, that's the first component. Mechanical terminations, there's your second component. And then may incorporate MUTOA, multi-user telecommunications outlet assemblies. There's your 3 pieces. That'd be the first question. The next one is a minimum of how many links. There you go, minimum of 2 permanent links. Okay, so that's how you're going to find this stuff. I'm guiding you to the section and telling you about where to look to find this information. So you're just going to simply record for me your answers for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And like I said, you can just put 1 in your answer, 2 in your answer, 3 in your answer. That is fine. And you can literally, and like on this question here, you can put 2 and you can put in minimum of 2. You could just put in 2 permanent links if you want. Question 7 is in the recognized cabling section. There's recognized cabling. Okay. 8 and 9 is located in 0D. So we're going to scroll up here to 0D. That's 1D. Now we're in the 0D section. Okay, so I'll go back to the beginning of 0D. There's 0D. And it says, okay, cabling installation requirements section. All right. Cabling installation requirements section starts on 14. All right, so we'll scroll down to 14. There you go, cabling installation, pulling tension, and minimum bend radius. So we'd be looking for pulling tension and bend radius. There you go. Okay? That's how you're going to use this. There's a question on 569 standard. That is the next one in the document. So after I go down here, I'm looking for the blue pages. That tells me when I've changed in standards. There's 568 3D. I got to go one more. And there's 569. There's the 569 standard. There it is there. And it says this one here in the cabling standards section. 569D building pathways general section. Building pathways types of pathways. Building pathways separation from EMI and so forth. That's how you're going to find up to 15. All right. So there's going to be questions we're looking up in our standards from different labs. And I have them out here for you for easy reference. Now, the next part of our lab, I have a couple more questions, 16 to 20, about our different cables and the cable labels. So, to do those, I'm going to go back to 3.4 into our lab, into the do. Here's the online lab. I'm going to reference some of these things here now. These are going to be handy. I'm going to be asking you about the category of cable. Well, the category of cable is printed right on the label. And then I am going to ask you about the rating, the cable rating, general, riser, plenum. What I'm getting at is this right here. Different cables can be used for different purposes. If we're installing above the ceiling, it needs to be plenum rated cable, so it's going to be rated CMP. If I'm installing in ductwork between floors, between closets, if you will, vertical runs, I can use, or I need to use, CMR riser rated cable. If I'm using a patch cable out, from the wall outlet to a desktop computer, I can use just general rated or CM cable, CM or CMG cable. Okay? That's what we're referring to now. Well, on this section, I have that graphic to help you. And then I also have here 2 different articles on Know Your Cable Jacket ratings. This is from Siemens. Here you go. Here's CMP, CMR, CMG. Plenum, riser, general. Okay? That's which we're looking for. So as we look at, in the lab, these cables, I am looking for, that. Okay? I am looking for that. I'm looking for that. And that's how you answer those questions there. All right? When you're all done, save this file, and you're going to submit your packet tracer file and then this question file to the Dropbox on D2L. And there is your horizontal cabling lab.